Welcome to another
Hey,
episode of 94 Feet with Coach JT. All right, before we get started, everybody, please subscribe, leave a like, comment in the chat box. Tell me what you think about the podcast as I continue to grow and expand this network and then interview some dope people locally and across the United States. This is episode, I don't even know, maybe I think 109 now. I'm in season two. I'll say that. Season two, I think this is
dope.
109 right now. So I'm definitely trying
Very
to
cool.
expand also right now. Today's the last day y'all can get these t-shirts on sale on the website before I switch it up because I got some stuff coming. So y'all definitely got to tap in with me. Get the shirts. Oh, work on my graphics. Oh, there you go. 94 feet with CoachJT.com. I just see I got the trucker hat on right now. We got those. We
Yeah.
got baseball tees. Got some dope stuff coming from an HBCU folks coming up. It's almost that season for us. We have to turn up during HBCU season. But just anybody, man. I got a lot of stuff up there for men and women. Tap in at the website. Again, 94 feet with CoachJT.com. All right, let me jump into this intro as I got to give my guest her due diligence. And we're going to take this real slow because I don't want y'all to miss nothing. All right. So my guest today, she's a distinguished graduate and former women's basketball player for Washington State University, where she
Go
excelled in both.
Cougs.
And shout out to the Cougs. We had 2 or 3 Cougs from Sacramento go up there. They up there representing too. So you got some
Yep.
more Cougs out here in Sac, where
Yep.
she excelled both on and off the court. Unfortunately, her promising professional career came to an abrupt end early due to injury. However, her unwavering determination led her to the Bay Area, where she pursued her passion for law and earned her Doctor of this word
Jurisprudence.
jurisprudence. Appreciate that.
JD.
JD got her
Yeah.
JD from Golden Gate University School of Law in San Francisco. Today, she thrives as a sports and entertainment attorney at the esteemed law firm Murphy Pearson, Bradley, and is that Feeney? I want to
That
make sure I
is
say it
me.
correct. Feeney.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, contributing her expertise across their San Francisco and LA offices. Building on her legal foundation, she's also served as a deputy director attorney in Alameda County, amplifying her commitment to social justice. In a remarkable turn of events, she stepped out of retirement in 2022, returning to the court as a formidable force, which I've got to witness live and in person for the Berkeley Royals in the WPBA in Alameda and out there in Oakland area. Her outstanding performance earned her a spot on the 2022 All-Star team, and she continues to shine as the 2023 WPBA All-Star team captain, further showcasing her talent. She has seized the opportunity to represent Cambodian national team 3-on-3 and 5-on-5 recently, women's basketball team in 2023 Southeast Asian Games this past May. None other than Mariah Cooks. How are you doing today?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that intro.
Oh, no
A
problem,
little,
man. I definitely
little,
appreciate you.
little long. My resume just,
Hey,
the older I get, it just keeps on. I guess
hey,
what it's
but
supposed to
that's it,
do.
and that's a real dope thing. A lot of
Yeah.
work being put in, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of hard work. But before we even get started to those accolades, though, we got to take it back a little further. You got to, for those who may not know, and those who do know who will be watching, I'm sure some of your teammates, hopefully they tap in. Where is Mariah Cooks from? Where is she born and raised at? Let's
Ah,
get into that. Let's take it back. Sometimes, like this show, we got to give a lot of people the background. They want to know about you
yeah.
personally in that journey.
Yes. No, so originally I'm from the Central Coast, so Santa Maria, California. So we about 3.5 hours south of Oakland and 3.5 hours north of LA. So like people from the Bay are like, "Oh, you're from SoCal." People from SoCal are like, "Oh, you're from NorCal." So, but we're like
So you got the
right,
middle.
right in the middle, yeah, near Pismo Beach area.
So you
So,
got you got the beach life going on. You got to be
oh
on the
yeah,
water.
love the water.
Dope,
That's
dope, dope. That's
my
what's up.
place of peace. Yeah.
Okay. So, growing up, beach and water, access to a lot of outside sporting activities at that age, or what was that? What was it like activity wise? Was it like, okay, go out, we're out here, we're swimming, we hanging out at the beach, or we running, we finding parks, or what was that like?
Yeah, so my dad played college football, so sports was always a part of our orbit as a family. I have an older sister, Jasmine. She's 3 years older than me, so I always played up with her. So we was whether it was soccer or basketball, or even watching her play volleyball. She kind of like paved the way for me to be like, okay, I want to be good. I want to be great too.
Yeah,
So, we're just a very active family. I have a younger brother. He plays football now for the Jaguars, actually,
nice.
which has been great. He's a rookie this year. But yeah, we just have always been very active as a family. So yeah, I actually soccer was my first love. So I love
Mm,
soccer, but also love basketball. And then finally made the decision in high school to fully commit to basketball.
that's
But
what's up.
yeah,
Shout out to younger bro. Good luck this season. I don't know
thank
if they,
you.
they coming West Coast. I don't know. I mean, okay, wait. So I know brother plays for there, but Jaguars. So you're a
Mhm.
Jaguars fan by default now. You got to be Jaguars fan. But what was it? What was the football team growing up? What was that?
Oh, I'm a Raider fan through and through. Even
Uh,
though,
all right,
listen,
interview
even
over.
though they're
Interview
not,
over. Sorry, interview over. I'm done. Can't
gotta
do it.
cut it.
Okay,
Man, I'm like
I get it.
loyal to a fault, it
It's all
appears,
good.
because it's toxic loyalty at this point
I
because
understand.
they done left us a couple times. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
I understand that. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
okay. We'll move on past the Raiders, but all right. So shout out again. Shout out to bro, man. That's a major accomplishment and
thanks.
a lot of hard work to get to that level, and hopefully wish him the best of that aspect.
Thank you.
We're talking basketball here. I'm sorry, soccer too though. I played soccer for a while. Some people don't realize that soccer footwork conditioning is the best thing for you. What position do you play
Okay.
in soccer?
So I was a midfield, and then
All
I,
the all the running.
yeah, yeah, all the running, but like I'm also not about that life too much either. So
Okay.
transitioned to a goalkeeper
Oh, okay.
in the like seventh grade, and then I was getting like I was actually pretty raw because I was able to like transfer my basketball skills to
Hmm.
the field. So I would and I didn't hesitate. I was fearless. I had a lot of fun in the box, and I liked being like the last line of defense.
I can imagine the aggressiveness. Yeah,
Yeah,
that probably helped a lot too. I can
yeah.
see that too. That's what's
Yeah.
up. So when you dabble in the start, when did you start to figure out or feel like basketball is something you just like though? When did you start to kind of spend more time doing the hoop thing?
Yes. I played like club basketball, school basketball my whole life, really. But it wasn't until, like I said, like my sophomore year in high school where, and I was actually, I feel like I was kind of late to the game, but I joined an AAU program out of LA. So, I mean, my mom, she drove me down to LA 2 to 3 times a week, and that was like a 3.5 hour drive. So she'd
Wow.
pick me up from school, take me out of class a little early. But I was a good student, so we still handled our business. I'll do schoolwork on the road and then go to practice. We spend that at my aunt's in Ventura, and then drive home for school the next day.
All right.
So I really feel like I took basketball, like started taking it really seriously, and was like, I want to be great.
Mm.
My in high school, like sophomore year, and I also grew 6 inches, so that helped a
I was
lot.
gonna say
By
so.
the
So
time, yeah,
how tall were you? I would say let them know that. I mean, I know you're sitting down now, but how tall were you? Us in your, I guess let's go from your freshman year or to your senior. How much the height grow?
yeah. So freshman to junior year, so freshman year I was 5'6", so I grew up a
Mm-hmm.
point guard, kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
point guard, and then by the time I was a junior, I was 6 feet. So now I'm like I'm a point forward. So I got the guard skills, but
Yeah.
body of a big. So
Yeah.
it's been it's been helpful.
Yeah.
Undersized actually in the basketball world. I'm actually undersized to be a post,
But you can do
but
both though. The
I can
best of
do
both
both.
worlds somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
And definitely
yeah,
help all the athletes heard that part. Academics, she took care of business and did both. She excelled
got
in the
to.
classroom. Don't forget, student athlete is the key word right there. While
Yeah,
taking a 3 hour drive 3 times a week, it can be done. I mean
yes,
that
it can.
sacrifice is dope. Uh,
Thank you.
During that time, was there any male, female athletes that you, especially on the hoop court, that you looked up to or mimicked your game after? Because I would say after I watched a few of the games, and I couldn't pinpoint it yet which one I would see. But I see a little Charles Barkley. I see a little
Yeah.
being able to handle the ball, run the break, make the pass, but still okay. If I need to post, I'm gonna give you 20 and 10 in the post. If I need to come outside, and I was like, oh yeah, she can move, but also it's like you could tell you were comfortable, and that makes sense now. Saying you grew up the point guard, you've had the ball in your hands a lot. So like anybody you
Yeah.
mimicked your game after, or kind of want to be like, okay, this is what I want to do with the rock.
Yeah, I grew up a lot. Like especially when I was in high school, I watched a lot of UConn women's basketball. So I was watching Maya Moore play,
Mm-hmm.
and that to me, like that was everything.
She was
Seeing
tough.
her, oh yeah, it's super tough because she's a big guard,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can be that. And then obviously, yep, you hit on the head. Charles Barkley. Shout out to Chuck,
Yeah.
man. I used to watch his highlights before my games in college because I loved his mentality. I love his mentality still. Like he,
Same
one is just
person.
same person, unapologetically himself in whatever arena he's in.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of respect for
That's what's
both of
up.
those players.
So as you know now, like I mean, even as you got through high school, I'm sure, but college, you guys got to spend a lot more time with trainers or people working out. But early on, how much time was you out there on the hoop court in the gym? Was it like before you made the commitment, were you like, I mean, actually, even when you made the commitment, nobody had to make you go do it. What were you doing? I mean, how
Yeah,
many hours a day or a week would you say, just or a day would you say you're out there either working on your craft or a
yeah.
skill set or watching film or something like that? How long? How often was that happening?
Yeah. So I mean, growing up, whether it was like basketball or soccer, because I would say those are my two focuses. I played volleyball, but really basketball and soccer were my main. And
Mm.
I'm blessed to just come from a foundation of like parents and siblings who just want to see each other win and are willing to do anything really to help further that mission. So I mean, when I was playing soccer, my dad built like a little PCP pipe goalpost in the back.
No
So
excuses.
we, no excuses. So we was out there. He put some lights outside. So we was training after practice. So I mean,
Yeah.
we'd have come back from a 2-hour practice, come home. I already have my schoolwork done before practice. Then go out, eat dinner, go back outside with my dad. He'd work with me whether it's on the soccer field or the basketball court.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I was getting, I mean, at least I would say at minimum, I was doing like an hour extra work a
Outside of
day,
everything
like
else,
outside of everything, like
daily though.
daily. Yeah, yeah. This was
That's what's
daily.
up. Clocking them
Um,
hours in.
yeah.
That's what's up. So when you fully commit to this basketball thing, um, what were your goals and aspirations at the time? Was it like I just want to get to the next level, or I want to have a good high school career and dominate this first and see what happens? Like, or did you have something planned out for yourself already?
Yeah, I definitely wanted a full ride scholarship, and I also wanted to play in the Pac-12. And for me, that like those were, or just like a big like a good program. Like
Hmm.
I that was like both like excelled athletically and academically, or at least a place where I know that I could come in and like build and we're at like a grand like a higher level, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, that was my goal. For me, it was never like I didn't have these big like WNBA dreams, but I definitely knew for me it was I wanted a full ride and I wanted to play in the Pac-12.
That's what's up. And Pac-12, you get to stay home, playing home a lot, playing your home state and your home
Yeah.
town versus even if you go away, you come back, you get a couple games there a year. Um,
Hmm.
going through that process of high school. Let's go through high school just short quickly as far as like adversity though, because I mean everybody sees the highlight reels, we see the
Of
dope pictures,
course.
dope videos,
Yeah.
right? But what were some one or two of maybe the harder things you had to deal with in high school that you're willing to share that you had to overcome to keep going and like persevere to get to the next level? Because even male or female, the struggles come. But also basketball wise, we have different. Oh, you're not big enough, or you're not fast enough, or oh, you can't be the tweener and be successful at the
Yeah.
next level, right? So, what are some things or something that you may remember that you had to overcome, and you kind of either prove somebody wrong, or I had to work extra
Yeah.
hard to get better at during that time?
Yeah. I would say the first would be it was my sophomore and junior year. I had like a really difficult high school coach. Like he honestly like what like I'm very coachable, I think just like in life. But I was in an environment where like the person who was supposed to have my best interests, I didn't feel like truly was for me. And told me that I would never play professionally, told me that like I thought I was better than I was. Just really like talked down to me. Not just me, just my team as a whole. Didn't support
Mm,
me playing AAU basketball, which was like that's where I was getting my showcase. Like no one, like Washington State was not about to come out to Santa Maria, California to catch one of my high school games.
mm-hmm,
Like they saw me at these showcase tournaments in Virginia and Chicago and South Carolina. Like,
mm,
that's where I was getting exposure. So,
mm-hmm,
um, and then I would come back to high school and like kind of be punished for still hooping, still working on my craft, but just because I wasn't like under his order.
mm,
So I think that was tough, just like as a player, just trying to like keep my confidence. But then I kind of just like took it like kind of just had an edge. Like, all right, you say I'm not gonna do this, you say I can't do that. Like, bet, let me show you that I can, because I'm about that action.
that's what's
Um,
up. Put that in your back. Didn't even know he was doing it. Just gave it to you.
Yeah. And then I would say the second would be I tore my meniscus. I ended up actually playing my whole junior season with the torn meniscus. And
Mm,
then it was really bothering me come like when AAU season started. I just like my knee kept catching, ended up getting MRI and realized like I had to tore meniscus and had to get surgery, and
Mm,
I had to sit out for the Boo Williams tournament.
that's the
And that
big
was
one.
like that was a big one,
That's
yeah.
a
And
big
this
one.
was my junior summer. Like this is my last
That's
AU
a summer that
circuit.
count, really. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I tried to. I was told my dad, I'm like, look, I could do a P90X video. Like, if I do that, can I play? And they're like, no, you can't.
Okay.
So yeah, it just wasn't worth it. And then, like, and I had a great AU coach. I played for Cal Storm, Team Tarasi,
Oh, okay.
down in Southern California, and George Quintero. Shout out to George, man. He's one of like a father to me.
That's what's up.
But he was like, there's no these coaches, these scouts, they don't know that you're coming in at 60, 70%. You
Hmm.
want to play, they're thinking this is 100% Mariah. So
Hmm.
it's actually going to do you more harm than good
Hmm.
to rush to get back when we have Nike Nationals in like 3 weeks from then.
Be
So just
100%.
be patient.
Good for them.
The time is going to come. So
Good
I
for
was like,
them.
I received that and was just a great teammate.
Good for them. That's dope. Like I said, they can. But you also, well, you said great teammate. Because some people would not have gone or not have done nothing and cheered their
Oh,
team on. But and it shouldn't be that way, right? Like you should support your
yeah,
teammate. But also, I think coaches. I know I do. I look at what the bench people are doing too. Why aren't you?
absolutely.
Why aren't you? You know what I mean? Why aren't you playing? Or why aren't you cheering your teammates on? If you heard, okay, cool, you're a good bench person. To me, that
Yeah,
resonates. You know what I mean? That means something too. You're still a positive person in that environment. That's what's up.
for
Um,
sure.
recruiting is crazy, right? Now this thing is another level right now. This is wild. But how
Yeah.
was it for you? Your end of your senior year. What was that like for you? What was that process like? I mean, was it knocking down the doors? I mean, was it coming all over? Was you getting secret? No, just was it wild or was it kind of calm? How was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely busy. Like I had all different, I had a lot of like California schools, a lot of like Ivies because I had good grades. So I had like the Princetons, the Penns, um, so I had like a bunch of like East Coast schools, like Georgia State. So I had all
Okay.
these options, but then I had like the California schools, but like Pepperdine, Long Beach State. My local schools actually were kind of like Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and
Mm-hmm.
UCSB were actually kind of like one of the last ones to offer me, which was like,
And you was in
all
the
right,
backyard.
dope. Like I've been here for 17 years now, but
Right.
it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
No shade, it's fine. But nothing from the Pac-12. And
Mm.
um, it kind of, I was like, obviously very grateful and like seriously considering like these schools that were like courting me. But everyone talked about like this feeling that you get, like that this is the right school, like this is, oh, I just knew it. And I was like,
You
all
didn't get
right,
that yet.
like I didn't get that yet, but I got that with Washington State, and I was like, yep, this
When
is where
that
I'm
when
supposed to
that
go.
offer came and you got that feeling, was it like to my parents or my parent, like they all agreed, we all had the same feeling, or they just went with what you decided as a young lady, or what?
Well, I was actually home alone. I remember this day. I don't remember a lot, but I remember this day. I got the call from Mike Doherty, who's June Doherty. She recently passed away. That was our head
Sorry to hear
coach.
that.
This is her husband, thank you, and our assistant coach. But he's the one that saw me play and who I'd been talking to. And so he called me. And Mike's like a straight shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, hey, I can't promise you much playing time, but I like your game. I think you're going to contribute great to our program. We'd love to have you here in Pullman. But the kicker, and so like they offered me, but the kicker was they had a post, like someone in my position coming in on a visit
Mm-hmm.
a week, but my visit was in 2 weeks. Theirs was coming like the next coming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, I don't know, like if she's gonna accept the offer. Like we've also like we're planning on offering her if you
Mm.
don't commit. So I'm just like, okay. So I was like, let me just take a beat. Hold on. I called my mom. I called my mom and dad. We talked it through, and they're like, yeah, do what you want to do. Like we support you. I think this is a great opportunity. Do
Mm-hmm.
what you feel is right. Called George Quintero. Was like, hey, Wazoo offered me, and he kind of played. He did the you can go to this school. And like you said, it's not guaranteed that you're gonna come in and play, but
Mm-hmm.
like I know that you're gonna work,
Mm-hmm.
and they're never gonna have to question your work ethic. So
Mm-hmm.
or you can go to a school where you can be the star right off the back. Um, and I was like, yeah, like I want to work. So I called Mike back and I was like, yep, I'm
Yeah.
accepting. Mind you, never been to, I
I
don't
about
even
to
think
say
I've been to the state of Washington.
up in what was it What is that up there in oh my gosh, Spokane? Not Spokane. Washington State a little different. Spokane's a little bit of ways
Pullman,
though. Home, yeah, Pullman. But
Pullman,
I've
Washington.
been up there too. I
Yeah,
was like, ooh, it's different up here. But
it's a
it's a nice
special
place though.
place.
It
It
is.
is.
It
It's
is though.
special. It's
It
special. I
definitely
love
is.
my Cougs.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. That's what's up. So what is the biggest one or two things you feel you had to add to your game coming from high school, from the young lady or a teen, I'm sorry, to a young lady now playing against some grown or older women? What was one or two
Yeah.
things you had to add to your bag, as they say right now?
Yeah, no, I was playing against grown women. You were not wrong. But I would say my shot, my outside shot for sure. I had to
Mm-hmm.
like, I shot the ball in high school, but it wasn't like, like wasn't like an area of my game where I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get 1,000 shots up a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't, I was working on other parts of my game. So Mike actually, Doherty, the assistant coach, he actually worked with me. He spent a lot of time working with me on my shot when I first got in. So I think like that was a piece of my game that I had to evolve, especially being a
Mm-hmm.
smaller four. I played like 3, 4, 5 at Washington State, and um, so I had to extend the floor as a four,
Mm-hmm.
as like a stretch four. Um, and then another part, uh, probably like my post game. I've always had like good footwork. I think because like soccer and I used to like do like football workouts and stuff. I was just always been active. But I needed to just learn how to have like counters to my counters and just
Mm-hmm.
really kind of increase my bag, my like get the ball face up game and then being
Mm-hmm.
able to attack that way or back to the basket, just kind of being able to be crafty down low. And that's something like I now even still to this day as you seen I have a lot of fun with.
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna ask you earlier. How many brothers and sisters do you have total?
Yeah, I have older sister and a younger brother. And then I have like a cousin brother
Well, the
and then
cousins.
like
Okay. So
yeah, but
how competitive was the households or the family games? Because I'm like in all you guys are pretty. You got some hype to you on. It's like
yeah.
I'm looking. I'm like, wait, I know that shit was got pretty intense. I'm sure
Oh, it didn't matter what we were doing, whether it was
everything was
Monopoly, chess, checkers,
don't pass
spoons,
go. Everybody
basketball,
competitive.
football. Who can like get to the trash can first? We just were competing all the time.
Yeah, that's
So
what's up.
yeah, so definitely like I know a part of like the competitiveness that's ingrained in me
It's in you.
comes from my family
Yeah.
and also being a middle child. Like I
Well, gotta
wanted to
fight
like
for everything.
I gotta fight for everything, man. It's tough out here in these streets, but
That's what's
we
up.
all made it work.
That's what's up. Um, Going to college. How'd you pick your major though? How'd you decide that part too? Because people, it doesn't get spoke about a lot. Like it's work going to school and doing schoolwork and being an athlete as well. Doing schoolwork and classes and practices and not
Yeah,
sleeping and trying to go to practice and barely sleeping and competing at a high level. But you gotta get the academics done too.
yeah. No, I always knew that law school was a part of my journey.
Hmm.
Like after basketball, after college. So I wanted to pick a major that would align with that. I initially picked philosophy with like a pre-law specification,
Hmm.
and in my spring semester, my freshman year, I took like an ethics course. And I think partially like my professor was not like really supportive of the student athlete life, but
Hmm.
also I just like didn't really enjoy the class that much and I was just like, dang, am I not ethical? Like I thought I was, but I just didn't like that there was no there's so much ambiguity. Like there's never an answer. It was just like, oh, it could be this, it could be this,
Hmm.
which is like which I'm grateful for now as an attorney. They teach you it's like it depends, but
Hmm.
I think I needed a little bit more concrete, like what happened and what are we doing here,
Right.
and where do we end up. So I switched to political science, still pre-law, and then minored in criminal justice and comparative ethnic studies. And I think those happened just comparative ethnic studies, especially, was just kind of more natural because of the like electives that I was taking the classes. And then by the time I was like a junior, senior, I was like, oh, I have enough credits to make this a minor.
How difficult was it to balance this, go to classes, keep this part of your brain
Yeah.
from not giving up or falling over?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of late nights, a lot of naps, a lot of leaning on my people, on my tribe, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and just really being like and using like my our resources. We had a great like academics support service team, So, if I did need help or was struggling with the class, like I asked for help. But, being a student athlete is something like I've always really kind of just taken pride in. And it was just like, yeah, it's a lot. I got a lot going on, but I'm going to do it. So it was only, I kind of got over the like jitters of like, oh my gosh, how is this all like, how am I going to get all this to happen? Or how am I going to do all this? And was just like, all right, how do we get this done? One thing at a time. That's kind
Problem
of like what
problem
I've done.
solving. Problem
Problem
solving. Like,
solving. I'm definitely solution based thinker.
yeah,
So, but it was tough for real. Like, yeah, doing papers on our like on the plane, on bus rides, at the hotels. It was just you just kind of get it in where you fit it in.
that's what's up. Again, shout out to you. That's a lot, but again, it can't be done. I mean, people are watching, listening, or hearing it first. You can accomplish it and handle your
Yes, you
business, but it
can.
takes work. It takes some dedication, but also, the
Yeah.
support systems mean a lot. And multitasking, being a student athlete, like it's not just the sports. I know some people think it
Yeah.
is. It's not. It's not
No.
just that ball. It's not. We wish it was that way. We wish you could
Wish it
just do that.
was. Show
Wish you could
did.
do that. At what point? I know. I mean, in the bio, in the bio a little bit, we talked about the injury, deterring, like
Mhm.
having to put the ball down. What injury was it?
Yeah. So I had actually moved to the Bay already. I'd already graduated. I had a contract to go play in Italy, and I was
Mm.
hooping at the 24-hour fitness in Walnut Creek. And
Mm.
brother came up, landed on my shoulder after a little pump fake. He came down on my shoulder,
Oh my
and my knee just
ACL.
like
Oh, your knee. Oh
ACL.
my
Yeah.
god.
So, and like in that season of my life, though, I was definitely like, I was just super prayerful. I was like, Lord, do I hoop? Do I work? Or do I start law school? And I tore my ACL, couldn't hoop, couldn't work,
Straight to law
started
school.
law school. Yeah.
You got some
So
sit down time, read some
I
books, get some
did.
stuff, can't be moving. Damn.
Yeah, first semester law school, I definitely was on bar. Got to sit in the handicap seat because was still in my brace. Had a little walking support, but
Man,
you make it to class, and you make it work.
that's crazy. Damn, man, just like that, man. But and again, I guess you said it's different depending on what people believe and what you believe in. The things happen to steer you in certain directions or
Yeah.
keep you from doing something else or lead you to a certain direction. So you dig in law school, right? You're in there. I mean, making the knee surgery, whatever, bouncing back.
Yeah.
Support system is probably, I'm sure, even more there. Hopefully they are. But then for you, like, what just kept you going to make sure you're getting this
Yeah.
done now?
Yeah, just understand that this is all a part of my journey. Like I knew, like I said, I've always, my great grandmother spoke over me since I was 5 years old that I was going to be an
Mm,
attorney. I'm like, she was like, there goes my little attorney or my little judge. And
yeah,
like, we
hey,
didn't have any attorneys, no judge. We didn't even know any in our family, but she
you're
saw
the
that in me.
first. Yeah,
And I believed that and I received that. And so, like, therefore, my whole family started speaking of that over me my whole life. So for me, I'm like, this is my destiny and
there
this
you
is something
go.
I got to do to accomplish my destiny or just like these are the hoops that you got to kind of jump through and a part of your journey that it does take a lot of work to hard work to be able to do that and I worked pretty much all through law school
Yeah,
so it was yeah it was a lot but
that's what's up.
listen, you do it you make it happen.
Shout out to their grandparents, man. I tell my boys I coach, man. Y'all
Man,
value y'all grandparents, man. They're so dope, man. Like I just
it's
a different
amazing.
level, man. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
they're there to spoil you, but also man, the knowledge and conversations, man. Like I
yeah,
said, man, mine been going a while now, but I'm like there was some like even my grandpa, one of the laid back dude I ever knew. Now,
yeah.
like he never get upset, man. He always chilling,
Right,
quiet,
where
like.
this peace coming
But
from?
then grandma be the opposite. She be talking mess, love, but she a little feisty, but I love her to death, man. Like them
Yeah,
stories we got together is a
right.
blessing. I'll never forget those, man. So I tell people,
Yeah,
my boys like coach,
that's
value
good.
your grandparents, man. Be appreciative of them, man. They've been around a while for a reason. They're
Hmm.
called grandparents for a reason.
The
You know what I mean?
wisdom, the
It's dope.
wisdom is
It's
priceless.
dope, man. Definitely
Yeah.
dope. So you bounce back from that, go through law school. Actually, I believe I'm doing some little digging around, research, and I see the video of the click the button. And, this is before this. I mean, this is a while ago, but everybody started posting their videos like of the
Yeah.
reaction. But I
Uh-huh.
see the is that mean I see that everybody, but I see the
The
relief on
bar
your
prep?
face.
Is this
Yeah, I mean
oh when or
prep,
the bar?
the
Oh
bar prep.
my gosh.
I see that.
Best day of my life for real.
Yeah,
Like,
talk about that a little bit.
oh, all right. So bar prep, I would say. So let me talk about bar prep season because that one was like in 2020, right? I literally started like right after George Floyd was murdered. So I'm like hearing protests happen on down the street, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
literally have to sit in this chair and study for this test. And like I'm
Mm.
going through these hypothetical situations, and I'm like, there's a real situation happening right down the street. So like I need to be there, but I literally just felt like God tell me, hey, this is the appointed season and the appointed time for you to just sit down and be still and do this work. So I put in the work, and that it was one of like the hardest seasons I've had, but also one of the most like rewarding seasons. And like I truly learned like to know what I need and be
Mm-hmm.
kind enough to myself to give myself what I need. Um, and so, but there's also that doubt of like, dang, I'm doing all this for this one test, for these it's a 2 day exam. You get one shot. And like, if I didn't pass, the thought of like having to do it over again, I was just like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh. And, like there was times when I doubted. I'm like, there's no way I can do this. Like mentally competent in 16 subjects. How? That's crazy. But then I would just like kind of had to remind myself, like, this is your destiny, Mariah. And if you're doing the work,
Mm.
you're being willing to be a vehicle, you will pass. There's no doubt about it. So I did the work. I took the exam, and exam day was low key. Like I was like, dang, this is an easy day because I was done at 4, and I've been studying till 10 p.m. every night. So,
You was
but then
prepared.
I
Highly
was
prepared.
prepared. But then you got like 2 months of not knowing,
That waiting
like
shit.
just waiting. So man, when I got the results, one, it was just a little confusing the way that they got to fix that because like it was like the name below is on the pass list, and I'm like, okay,
I heard you
so
say I passed.
I passed. No, literally, everyone was like, "Wait, so did you pass?" And I'm looking. I was like, "Wait, yeah, I passed." So, and I just literally, I don't know if I've ever experienced like that level of an exhale
Oh
ever.
yeah, I'm sure that you
Um,
needed that. Man, that was a long
yeah,
wait.
yeah. So that was a great day. I
For
as you
sure.
see an exhale with a lot of tears, but
That's what's up. Yeah,
you know,
hey, it was
time
dope.
of people.
It was everything. Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
dope. Um, get that done, taking care of business as of right now. What brought you out of retirement? Where did that come? How did that come about? Because it
Yeah.
takes a lot for. I mean, well, you say overcome injury, career changes, or career evolving, right? More, but then also a
Yeah.
first love is like, ooh, I it's calling my name, or what happened? How'd that go?
Yeah, let's see. So, 2022, I was still at the DA's office. So I was a district attorney in Alameda County, and that is just like, I it was a heavy job, and I know that I was coaching,
Hmm.
kind of to just try to like stay around basketball, but I also knew like I needed balance and I needed
Outlet.
outlets, yeah. But I also was not trying to go to pick up a 24-hour no
24.
more.
Don't
So I was like,
some a little more
what do I
organized, a
do?
little more
Yeah,
structured, without
yeah,
no. Yeah.
right. So I actually initially got brought into the Olympic Club in San Francisco. So I started
Hmm.
playing for the women's team there. And that was great to just like get back on the floor and play like competitively against like other high level
Hmm.
female hoopers. And then through that, was actually contacted, or I don't even know, I don't think it was through that, but just like I knew mutual people, and Fatima and I ended up having mutual connections. And so she reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in playing the league, told me a little bit about it. We hopped on a call, and I was like, yeah, don't see why I wouldn't. So,
That's dope.
yeah, so I decided to do it. And it was honestly, I think, has been one of my biggest blessings to lace back up again because
Yeah.
this, like, the joy and the freedom that I'm able to play with now in my
Right.
life, in my career, is
Hmm.
something I hadn't experienced before. So
That's what's up.
it's amazing.
Yeah, I definitely see that with the camaraderie coming to games. Everybody giving hugs
Yeah.
out. Or
Yeah.
if you miss a week, if somebody comes, where was you at last week? Everybody missing, hugging. But then the game,
Yeah.
the ball goes up. Oh yeah, it's still the games are competitive. Some trash
Hmm.
talk going on. Some it's physicality.
It's
It's
all
getting
love.
after it. But it's the game. But it's a game at a high form, and
Yeah.
it's in your hometown, right there, city. But it's also where it's a chance for women to get exposure. Those who still want to play at that level,
Hmm.
or those who just want to get some good run in a structured
Right.
environment and still, friends and family come see you play or watch you play on a live stream. Definitely
Yeah.
jumping, man. I know it's man. We're almost, what is this, week 5 or 6 coming up this
I think
weekend?
this is 6.
6 is
Yeah.
coming. It's moving. It's
Yeah.
coming
It's
up, man. It's moving fast,
sprinting. Yeah.
sprinting fast. Like I said, definitely I'm gonna get back there this weekend. I have
Yeah.
a couple games just out here with my high school boys, but I'm getting back out there.
Okay.
What are some overall feelings of how your team is doing right now? Where you're at from right now, and then give me out how you want to see this thing finish out at the end for
Yeah.
you and your squad.
Listen, the Royals is coming. I'm telling you, it's been honestly really cool to see just from our first game. And I knew
Mm-hmm.
even our first game from quarter 1 to quarter 4, we got better. And that's my thing. Like, I'm a control the controllables type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So you give me energy, a good attitude, and your effort. Like, if we win, if we lose, like, we tried our best, you know? And so that we're a new group coming together, and I knew that we had all the right pieces, but it was just a matter of like, how do we come to form? And so we were learning each other, and just now, week by week, every practice, every time we step on the floor, whether it be practice or a game, we get better together.
I
And
would, I would say I
um,
have to agree with that. So I think
yeah,
that was the first interview we did, was your first game, and
right,
you
yeah,
stated that the first. You said, "Hey, we barely practiced. This is our first one.
yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get better." And
yeah,
5, 6 weeks later, you can see the gameplay. So I mean, it's not
yeah.
like she's not saying that right now. It's documented. The first, she was saying same statement. It's stamped right there. So it's the same
Stand
thing.
by
That's
it.
what's up. It's exciting, man, to see it grow and see it, especially as it heightens up as everything comes around. Like, it's getting closer to the playoff time, All-Star, all that stuff going.
Yeah,
So it's definitely, the level of play is going up every
for sure.
time. It's
Yeah.
definitely dope. Okay, I'm gonna throw a couple pictures up here. Just want you to
Okay.
recap them. I didn't go. I just found a couple. I just put some. Hopefully some meaningful ones. She laughed. I didn't go to the one.
I mean,
But I
listen,
got you. It's
I
all
always
good.
think judiciously. I don't post on
Oh, there
crazy,
you go.
so
Got you.
we gonna
All
see
right, here
what
we
this
go.
is. Yeah.
All right, let's see here.
Ah, one of my favorites,
Yeah.
man. June, she was actually, I would say, probably my first true female mentor that I had in my life to like really pour into me. So I love her so much. May she
Dope.
rest in so much peace. But I know she's
For
one of
sure.
my heavenly angels now.
That's what's up. Uh-oh. This one.
Oh gosh, don't make me cry. Just
Uh-oh.
looking at it. Now this
Uh-oh.
is my senior. This is my senior day,
That's dope.
and I'm a daddy's girl through and through.
Yeah, yeah.
So he,
That was
I
definitely
couldn't
dope.
help
I'm
but cry.
put it up there one more time. That's definitely dope, man. That's a dope
Yeah,
picture. I mean, I think I
yeah,
see
yeah.
the love, but also like, hey, this is my girl too. Like, hey, like, y'all
Right.
been through a
He
lot
was
of
like,
workouts together. Like, hey, we did this. We did this.
yeah, and he was like,
Pretty cool.
"Hey, no, you got 40 minutes to play right now, so
Hey,
you can
hey,
cry, but shape up."
Pops like, hey, get these buckets right here, baby. We got these
Yeah.
buckets. All right, this one I think is I don't know. I mean, we all can feel about this one, man. This is dope. It's an everything picture.
Ah,
It's
man,
dope, man. That's a dope
amazing.
flick. I mean,
And again, yeah. So I got invited to that from George Quintero, actually, my old AU coach, and it
mm-hmm,
was like last minute.
mm-hmm,
One of my good friends, Chelsea Gray, she was gonna be
mm-hmm,
working at, or I thought we were like working a camp, but
mm-hmm.
ended up like it was like a WNBA camp, so I ended up actually getting to work out. I worked out with Kobe.
Mm.
He put us through like it was 3 days,
Oh
and
wow,
it was
dope.
really special to be
That's
able to
dope.
like be a part of that and experience just like the opportunity to just like learn from him and watch him and laugh with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to Pops, Coach, and Cole, man. Just
yeah,
good people,
man,
influential people.
amazing.
They are proud of you, I'm sure, and still
Yeah,
are. So that's
yeah.
definitely dope to see. So at the end of every show, I ask my guests, as we know in basketball, triple threat, right? Dribble, pass, and shoot. However, for those listening that may know you, may not know you, I want to get your triple threat though. Give me 3 things that
Mm.
you hang your hat on, or you stamp on, or you walk by, or you kind of move by, the people know, okay, that's Mariah. This is her triple threat right here. Give me those 3 things right now.
Ooh. All right, let me sit on this for a sec. Okay, I got one. All right, I got it. I would say um, my integrity,
Mm-hmm.
my faith, and my family.
Dope. Integrity, faith, and family. Solid.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
foundation. Definitely can hold it down. That's what you need to hold it down for sure in this world, as we know, it's constantly changing, man. I appreciate your time,
yeah.
Mariah.
Of course,
Good
appreciate
luck
you.
this weekend, the rest of the
Thank
way.
you.
Definitely can't wait to see these games and really, as it turns up, man. I'm trying to debate if I'm come out of retirement and get into this coaches versus cancer game out there. I'm like, ooh,
I mean, come
I
on.
got a full month. I'm about to hit this 41 in a couple of weeks, so I got to go ahead and
Wow, happy almost
yeah,
birthday.
appreciate you. So
Yes,
yeah,
that's
I'm
amazing.
about to get in here. I'm in the gym, but I really got to get in the gym. I can't go out there and rest myself. Them dudes,
No,
I know
no,
it's gonna
no.
be high level, so I got to
Just
get
like
ready.
stretch,
I'm gonna do more
make
than
sure
that,
like
a
you're
lot more
ready.
than
Yeah,
that, a lot
okay.
more than that. I got a foam roller. We doing everything. We rolling out. We stretching. If
Perfect.
I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go out there and be ready because I like to compete still. I don't like to lose.
I
But
heard that.
I appreciate your time.
I
Again, many
appreciate
blessings to you and your
you.
family. Congratulations again, sir, bro. Good luck to him
Thank
this year.
you.
If
Thank
y'all don't
you.
know, man, check her out. Every Saturday right now, she's in the women's PBA in Alameda with the Royals.
Yeah.
She's also the All-Star captain this year.
Team Cooks.
So just be on the lookout, man. She's doing
Yeah.
big things, but also on the other side too, handling business in business as well, and in law, and also giving back
Yeah.
to people in the community and kids, of course, and coaching. So appreciate your time. See you soon.
Appreciate
Have a
you.
good one. You heard it here first live on this. Man, it's Thursday already. Thursday evening.
Man.
94 feet with Coach JT. Coach Cooks, player Cooks,
All the
attorney
cooks.
Cooks. See everything live. We out.
No, thank you.
Peace.
There we go.
Appreciate you.
Bye.